could be doing anything. Sometimes you're riding on the train or in the shower. You gotta drop everything you're doing in like voice notes or whatever. Because I've definitely lost some great songs just to the ether.
I'm trying to like live out, you know, like hero's journey. I feel like it's actually like, it's like sacrifice to a point, because it's like I really am like I'm putting my business out there. When I set out to write it, just like I was going through a lot of personal stuff, and like my life was all over the place, and kind of just to bring clarity and to get myself out of that slump, I just kind of like bore my soul.
I didn't for a second expect selling out once, and then the second time, and you're like, and then the third time, and you're like, whoa, and then it's awesome.
But the come-up hasn't come easy. The 22-year-old moved out from his Oshawa home to pursue music dreams in Toronto, couch surfing or sleeping on benches at Trinity Bellwoods Park.
I was just writing my songs kind of back home, and I never really considered this as a profession. You know, you're always told like this is a 1 in a million shot, you know?
Right. Like I was just chilling with my friends, and I was like, I moved out, like I'm just gonna go to Toronto and do music. And they're, you know, they love me, so they're trying to just like be reasonable with me. Like, I know you're talented, bro, but come on, let's be real now, you know?
We were in Sean's basement, and he just kind of came up to me like, yo, like I fuck with your stuff. Like I want to produce an album for you. I would start work at like 6 p.m. I was washing dishes, and then I'd finish at around like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. I was the last one to leave, taking out garbage, you gotta lock out everything. And then I would take the streetcar over to Broadview, and that's when I was living at Jordan's. That's when we'd start. Yeah. And we'd end like 7 in the morning, something like that. And then I'd sleep until it was time to go to work again.
I knew what my life was. I wasn't gonna be doing this forever. Like just sleeping outside. Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan. So yeah, we made it work.
But it was part of the process, even though it wasn't part of the plan.
Part of the process, not part of the plan.
Yeah.
But a very important part of the process.
God rest my soul and show you. I don't believe for a second that I'm the only one that goes through this. That has to be why this is all working so well. All this music, like everything we're doing, like it's working extremely well. And the only way I can justify that in my mind is because of how honest I am and how it connects. And it could be something completely different, but in my mind, when I think about all the recent successes in my life, I believe that's why. Vulnerability is like, it's the greatest thing, and the reward is very high, but the price can also, you know, it's like
the danger is there, like that fear of like,
yeah, but that's why it's so awesome, you know? Everyone's like clearly identifies with it, and it's just refreshing because it's like, I'm not the only like fucked up person, you know? I do better when I can sit down, like process what I'm thinking and write it out and then sing it. And so then I get on stage and it's like, you know, I write what's in my head, I write it down, and I sing it, and then I'm like, oh shoot, that's me.
The way we do every project is I'll start out and I think I know what I'm writing, and then we get about 75%, and then me and Jordan will get together and we'll play just whatever piece of music at that point represents how I'm feeling the best, and we just have the whiteboard up and we're just like writing quotes and like discussing things. And it always changes on me, where I think I'm writing something, and then we sit down and we look at it and we're like, oh no, this is what I'm actually trying to say.
You know that you should never doubt it. People make mistakes.
Don't give away your art to someone that doesn't care about you. I know that it was like a real thing that I wrote. I didn't try. Wasn't like, yo, what will they like if I do this? Will they like if I do that? It all came from a real place, so I'm not worried about like doing it again.
Try not to get caught up or like let it like change anything. You don't want it to like influence future decisions as far as music, how you make music. Like, will they like this one? Will they like, you know?
Build your brand. Take it as far as you can, because it doesn't matter what your path is. If you build your value, you can control the conversation. So the further we went, the further we realize that we can just keep it going.
Go
We can
direct it
market,
to the people.
we can distribute. It's about making relationships with your fans and
Go
your
direct it.
listeners. You just go
Right.
direct.
Like music was what I've always made music. Like I used to, even like I was a child, I'd run around the house and sing to myself, you know? Like I'd do it for me. The whole go up on stage, accept your award thing, that was like one of the first times it ever happened to me. It's an amazing honor, but it's like an object, you know?
First of all, to these guys right here, I would not be here if it weren't for Matthew and Jordan. I love you guys, man.
So it's like, what are you actually chasing? Like, what do you actually want, you know? Because it's not an object you want. And I feel like I'm like kind of like meta, like I'm like looking down on myself, watching everything that I do and like analyzing it and criticizing it and like telling myself to keep going.